This is just pure raw damage. So today is the showcases of all showcases, guys. Today we got our boy ZEUS, and we're gonna be showcasing him today in this video. And this is all thanks to my boy Doobsy, so shout out to Doobsy. He is letting me use his account to show off ZEUS. So for me personally, I think ZEUS is one of the strongest characters in this game, if not the strongest. And 100% he's definitely the strongest AoE unit in the game as is right now. His first ability, Thunder Strike, one hit attack that deals 100% attack, extends all their debuffs by 1 turn and inflicts stun. So if they have debuffs on them, it makes the debuffs get extended by 1 turn, which is great. Debuff extension is always a great thing. And then on top of that is like a super cherry, big, not just a cherry, a big old cherry on top. He actually can inflict stun himself on his S1. This is his first ability. And then his second ability is Thunder Judgment, and this move is incredible, right? So this is in his basic form still, right? Because he has 2 forms. When he uses his skill 2 in his first form, he summons lightning 5 times to attack at random enemies. Each hit deals 45% attack damage, prioritizes attacking different enemies. Damage against same enemies is reduced by 25% each time. Dispels all buffs from enemies, inflicts buff blocker for 2 turns. So it's a huge dispel, and it's a huge AoE attack, and if it hits the same target multiple times, it will reduce its damage by 25%. But this is a huge ability because you can dispel everybody's buff off one get-go and apply buff blocker, so it makes it possible for them not to rebuff themselves, which is huge because there's so many people that can buff in this game, and this ability is so big in itself. Just the dispelling and then just adding the buff blocker on top of it is, oh my god, it's so strong. I also forgot to mention on his ultimate, right, Thunderstorm, he has a passive ability that in his when he attacks enemies, he has 100% accuracy, right? So you don't need to build him for accuracy, and he inflicts sear on them, right, which makes the character the opponent take 25% more damage when they have that debuff on him, right? But when he does go into Thunderstorm back into his normal mode, basically he gives the whole team a shield, and that's if he's coming out of his awakened form to go into his normal form. I'm going over all his normal moves, but now when you do click on this ultimate, on his ultimate, right, he gains he go ahead and transforms, and then he gains another turn, and then he goes into this God King state where basically he gets 100% crit rate, right? So you don't need to build crit rate on him at all. It's just pure crit damage, and then he gets this massive shield, right? And he extends his own buffs by 1 turn, right? So that's huge. So this ability, you cannot reduce its cooldown by no other way. Ocean Waves doesn't affect it. Ahmed's ultimate doesn't reduce its cooldown. It goes on cooldown regularly, and there's no way of reducing its cooldown. Now this is where things get spicy. When he goes into his ultimate, he gets that huge shield, right? And he gets 100% crit rate. Now his skill 1 is an attack that attacks everyone, and has a 55% chance of stealing the target's buffs, which is huge. So you can go ahead and steal 1 buff from everyone and have a 55% chance of doing that, and it does decent damage too. But it's so good because it can steal buffs. Like we're in a buffing is such a big part of this game, right? There's always going to be buffers and stuff, and this is so good. It's an AoE buff steal. It's so good. And then this is what makes ZEUS the strongest AoE damage dealer, is when he's in his God King state, when he's awakened, he does that skill 2 that I said that he does lightning on all 5 different characters, and it does massive damage, 120% of his attack. And of course, damage against the same target will reduce the damage by 25%, but because it's random, right, he in the beginning, if there's enemies, he hits everyone, but if it's one single opponent, because it says 5 times it hits, that means it's gonna, and there's 1 enemy, that means it's gonna hit the target 5 times on that one single target occasion. So he's a very AoE hard-hitting unit, and as far as single target, he can do massive single target damage too, because it can hit a single target multiple times, and not just that, it can also hit an AoE, right? So there's that, and it also applies buff blocker, which is huge. This ability is really hard hitting, and I gotta show you guys. When he's in his God King state, he only gets the 100% crit guaranteed, but the seer, the 100% seer proc passive rate goes away. He can't even apply seer at all when he's in his God King state. For the build I have here today, my friend is working on his Thor set, but right now this is good enough. We got the attack counter set on him. We have crit damage on him down here. We have attack bonus, and we have speed on him, right? And then for his crit damage right now, we have 290 crit damage. Oh, and I forgot to say that he also increases ally attack in point war by 40%, which is a huge margin. 40% is huge. Okay, so our Gabriel, his Gabriel's super fast, so he's gonna go first with his Gabriel. We're gonna push, apply that attack buff, and now instead of, honestly, we don't have no buffs to worry about, and they are pretty low, so we're just gonna go ahead and just go into our ultimate, and look how cool this animation looks. All right, when he transforms, that looks freaking awesome, dude. And then we're gonna do his skill 2, which is the AoE nuke ability, and here it goes. There's no seer or nothing, right? No defense down. This is just pure raw damage. Crazy damage, right? Crazy damage. Very nice. That's with no seer and no defense down, right? So he could potentially hit even harder. Okay guys, we're gonna go into the next one here. So we're just gonna go ahead and drop the defense down with Gabriel right away. We're gonna push. Do I want to apply the seer? No, I don't. This is a little risque, but let's go ahead and do it. We got the seer, and we also got the defense down. Oh my god, that guy got one shot. Okay, and let's see how much damage we will do. Oh my god, they're all just dying. All right, we took that pretty well. I just want to be able to transform here and just do my second ability so you guys can see how much damage he does, but everything's just dead. All right, we're just gonna do his second ability here. Boom. I'm telling you that, like, if he's set up, he does insane damage, but you don't really need to set him most of the time. Like, there's times where you're gonna want to set him up, but he won't be able to. So you have to have your other allies to set him up for you. So this is perfect. I brought him here to this to the Divine Wave boss, because in Chronos he's good, but because there's these other two enemies that's with the main boss Chronos, his thunder abilities won't hit a single target. It's always going to hit multiple targets if there's multiple targets. The only time it's going to hit one target is if it's only one target. So all 5 hits will hit this one target. We do have him set up with seer and defense down. So let's see this damage here. Let's transform. Okay, we transform, and now let's see this damage here. 156k, not bad, and that could potentially be a lot higher too once he has like the proper min-max gear plus the Thor set. That can potentially be up in the 200,000s easily, right? So he is a great character. He's super duper strong, especially if you set him up properly. Man, he just hits really hard. And that's his skill 1. Hit 24k, not bad for single target, but it's meant for more of a AoE ability, but it still hits decently hard. And yeah, man, it's still a great ability and steals buffs and all that stuff. So yeah, on Chronos he's okay, but just because those two other enemies is with Chronos, he's not the best at it. But when it's a single target unit like that, he can definitely just nuke that target down. Okay, and we're gonna try him out here on this last point war here to show you guys. Let's see. Okay, so we did get pushed back though. No, we resisted all that. Let's go ahead and do this, and I do want to show off the damage, just but they do have buffs here, but then the Gabriel's gonna go ahead and buff, so I'm gonna go ahead and just skill 2 to show you guys the dispel. There's the entire team is dispelled. Look at that. It's such a useful ability, man. But the Gabriel's gonna go ahead and she's gonna go and put the defense down. We're fine. Actually, no, let's take her out. This is good for us, honestly. Okay, she ulted. There's her buff. Let's go ahead and keep it in. The reason I'm doing it like this is because I want to show you. I wanted to show you guys the dispel, right? So now let's just show you the skill 2 when they have buffs. Still great damage. My goodness, that is some good damage. Don't forget we can steal his abilities, right? We can steal their cooldowns. I mean their buffs. So here's the finishing blow. He got the immunity, like I told you, from her. And if he goes here, actually, he can actually go and try to steal these buffs. Okay, Zeus is not getting targeted, so that's good. Ollie's OP with the save. Let's go ahead and save my team and try to freeze him. Okay, nobody got pushed back. Let's do this right here because I want him to wipe everyone out. And watch this. If we don't wipe everyone out, we will steal decent buffs. We got another immunity and we got to steal a buff, defensive buff. So amazing ability, amazing character. Honestly, to me, he does everything great in the game. He shields, he supports with debuffing, he does great damage. He does it all, man. That is Zeus. And I forgot to say that he doesn't have any abilimons yet. My friend is working on abilimoning him, so the shield strength actually gets even stronger on his ultimate when he switches in and out of his forms. And then on his skill 2, he gets a damage increase plus a cooldown reduction, which is huge. And then he also gets more damage on his skill 1. So there's Zeus, guys. My favorite character in the game, and I think he's the best character in the game. Currently, I love this character, and if you pulled him, I'm really happy for you. Congrats. And yeah, I haven't pulled him on my account, unfortunately. I have tried. I made 2 videos trying to pull for him, so yeah, no luck there. You guys can go check out those videos if you'd like, but leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about GAIUS, aka Zeus, and I will see you guys in the next one. It's your boy Jadaa. I'm out. Peace.